We know to love and to be loved is the greatest thing in our lives. We normally, all of us, fall in love or have to fall in love with somebody. It is definitely a risk sometimes. It's a faith. Everything is based on a faith. We have to surrender ourselves in every way. It's a sacrifice. Love is a sacrifice. Love is noble, sublime. Without love, there is no meaning. Nobody has enjoyed happiness without loving somebody. That could be the reason in the entire literature of the world, we find people going after, taking every risk to attain their loved one. We find in Iliad, Paris, conducting a huge war to steal Helen, perhaps the greatest beauty of the entire world of that time. We all know about Romeo and Juliet, the most romantic pair in the world literature. Actually, they were true romantic pairs who lived in Florence in 1303. In our own literature, there is Dushenda and Shagundala. In Kalidasa's poem, we have the immortal love of Sita to Rama. Well, we find every literature of the world replete with love. Well, what do we get by loving? Love gives you happiness. Love gives you meaning. Love achieves things. Without love, nothing can be achieved. If you want to get a high goal in your life, somebody should spur you with love. You must have heard there is a man behind for the achievement of a woman. There is a woman behind the great achievement of a man. Not only that, life becomes much more enjoyable with love, with a loved one. If we live alone, definitely we will not live longer, and our life will be definitely one of despair and one undesirable. Robert J. Wadling, a professor and psychiatrist of Harvard University, with his 75 years of research, has found that people who are in married life, who have trust, with understanding, they have more happiness. They live longer. All of them, thousands of couples they have studied, who lived long married life. In every single case, those couples were happier and they lived longer. Of all the couples in the world who lived maximum, it's Karam Chand and his wife, who were married in India in 1925, and they migrated to UK and continued their married life for 91 years, dying in 2016 and 2019 respectively. There was another couple, Eugene and his wife Dolores. They lived for 81 years. These are, actually records, world records. And these two couples, they lived much beyond 100 years and they were happier. So to be happy in life, to have a long life in life, we need to love. We need to have a partner with whom we have an absolutely loving relationship. Love is that much powerful. To be happy, love actually produces dopamine, a neurotransmitter that controls the center in the brain which deals with pleasure. So when you are in love, you are actually more happy. Love also triggers a hormone oxytocin, which reduces your stress, which reduces inflammation, which reduces even cancerous possibilities. Love is something, beyond description. It has got immense potentiality with it. So we need to be loved. We need to be in love. Of course, there is a lot of risk, as we mentioned earlier. Everything cannot be foreseen. Our partner need not be the way we expect, we anticipate. But then it is like two twigs which are connected or which are standing with each other support. If one falls down, the other falls down too. It's complementary. Love is complementary. And when you know your, let's say, partner so well, when you do everything for your partner, your sex life will be so very much more beautiful and enjoyable. Webster Dictionary defines love as close affection between kinship or attracted by sex. It can be, love can be between parents and children, or between husband and wife, between partners, or between a social worker and his, let's say, the people whom he takes care of. Love is actually the basis of the entire life on this planet. Children wouldn't have been produced if there was no love. Children wouldn't survive if parents did not love them or if the caretaker did not love them. Love is behind life. The point here is, love is necessary for us to live happy life, to live a prolonged life, to achieve something in life, and to get on with our life. Well, when we think about it, we need to have love trigger phrases like, this is regarding your partner. Are you able to think, she or he has been the greatest gift to me in my life? Without her, my life would have been meaningless. Are you able to say, she's so or he's so beautiful, he's so handsome. Without him, my life is empty. My life is not in any way meaningful without him. Are you able to have such thoughts? He or she has been the greatest gift to me by life. If you are able to think like that, life becomes much more enjoyable. And then when we need to continue our love life as when we met for the first time. When we were meeting for the first time, we want to spend more time. We are looking at the partner from every angle, ogling at them without others looking at us. We were so careful in our dressing, without a fold in the shirt, without one strand of hair out of place. We didn't make up. But as we grow, we forget all this. We find those things are not important, but they are important. If we care for our partner, we will continue with everything that we did when we met first. We are able to share everything with her. We are able to spend more time. We romantically feel like spending more time, sharing everything with the partner. So that sort of an attitude which you had when you first met for the first time, if you continue that, life is becoming much more enjoyable. As as Mother Teresa once said, spread love everywhere. Let no one who come to you leave without being happier. Make them happy. Make them love them. I still remember a small line of Christina Rossetti who wrote, if I could remember that day, that moment, that hour when we were meeting for the first time. Also, I remember Anne Bradstreet, who wrote a small poem to her husband. If there were two people who were one, then we. If a man ever were loved by a woman, then thee. If a woman was ever happy with this man than me, you think about your partner and see whether you can say like that. And also, Christian Warfield has written another line. Our life is like a thorny rose, never beautiful, never perfect, but always beautiful. Life is like that. Our love life is like that. It's not always perfect. There are thorns, but it is beautiful. There is an understanding, and let us hope this understanding, this beauty of love permeates every single cell in our body, and it releases dopamine, oxytocin, so that we feel more pleasurable. Our love act is more enjoyable. Our life becomes more enjoyable. Thank you.